everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making something Eid related, and as you know, Eid's around the corner, so I want to make chicken tikka biryani. If you're a biryani fan, you're gonna love it. So stick around until the end because I do have some tips for you that can help you speed up the process. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so let's go over some ingredients. I've got 6 chicken legs, full legs, as you can see. I got 3 with skin and then I've got 3 without skin. You do you. I like it with skin. My husband likes it without skin, so I got both of us covered. Let's go over some spices now. I've got 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, half a teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of salt or to taste, 1 teaspoon of black pepper powder. I've got 1 teaspoon of tandoori masala. I'm using this one, you can use any. I got 3 of them marinated overnight and I'm gonna marinate 3 of them in front of you. The spices that we're gonna need here are based on 3 legs. This one I marinated overnight. I highly suggest you marinate it overnight because it's gonna enhance your flavors and cut your cooking time. Okay, so now I'm going to add all of that right into my chicken. Give it a quick rub. Also going to be adding in 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste here. About 3 tablespoons of yogurt. And 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Alright, now I'm going to use gloves and mix all of that into my chicken. So now, as you can see, it's fully marinated. I am going to recommend you put it in the fridge for about an hour before you actually grill it or barbecue it. I'm just gonna do it on a grilling pan, but at least marinate it for about an hour. Okay, so now I'm putting on my grilling pan here. I'm gonna drizzle some oil, like a tablespoon. And then I'm going to be adding in my chicken pieces. Alright, so I'm going to start adding these pieces to my pan. And while they're cooking, I'm going to turn on my pot for rice. We have to boil some rice. Alright, so I'm going to leave these on for 20 minutes and then we're going to flip them over and then cook them again for about 20 minutes. We'll see how it goes and then I'll let you know. Alright, so I've got 3 cups of rice here, soaking in for about a couple hours. You will have to soak them before you make biryani. They just turn out the best. I'm going to be adding rice here now. I'm also going to be adding in 2 tablespoons of salt. And we're gonna actually boil them for about 10 minutes. I'm also adding a tablespoon of oil in the rice. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. I'm going to flip these pieces. It's been 10-15 minutes and I have flipped them over and they're half cooked, so I'm gonna actually cover them, lower the heat so they can cook for another 15-20 minutes and then we'll check back on that. Alright, in a separate pan now, I'm going to be adding in about 3 tablespoons of oil. And we're going to be adding in some whole spices. I've got 1 bay leaf and 1 tiny bay leaf, 1 black cardamom, 3 green cardamoms, and 2 cloves. So I'm going to add that to the oil and let it sizzle for about 30 seconds until we have the aroma coming in. Okay, so my rice is almost done. It's about 80% cooked, which is what we need for biryani rice. I'm gonna drain it and then we'll be back. So we're gonna be adding in about half a cup of fried onions. I normally have them at hand, so it just makes their life so much easier. So I'm gonna add this to your whole spices, and then I'm gonna be adding in 1 cup of tomato puree. If you don't have tomato puree, you can basically take 3 large tomatoes and then blend them and just add them over here. So that's what I just did. And now I'm gonna check up on the chicken. Please keep checking on your chicken. You don't want them to be overcooked and you don't want to be undercooked. We are going to be steaming them in the rice. So keep checking on your chicken. It needs to be fully cooked, but you don't want to overcook it. Okay. So as you can see, it's a bit thick now, so I'm going to be adding in maybe a tablespoon of water just to loosen it up, and then we're going to be adding in some spices to our gravy. I've got 1 teaspoon of cumin powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of salt or to taste. We've got half a teaspoon of turmeric, and I've got 1 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder. So I'm going to add all of that to my gravy and give it a quick mix. You also want to add some water so that your spices don't burn at the bottom of your pan. And my heat is low throughout the time. You don't want to rush it. You don't want to burn your spices. Now I'm going to slowly up the flame. It's about medium flame now. I'm going to add a little bit more water and then let the spices cook for about a minute. I've got a piece of coal here. It's about 1 inch, and I am going to let it be on heat for about, I think 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes is just about right, and I'll tell you what we're going to do with that in the end. Alright, so I've got about 3 tablespoons of yogurt here that we're going to be adding into our gravy. We're almost done, guys. Almost done. And I'm going to quickly mix it up. And for those of you who do not have a gas stove and you're wondering how do I put the coal, you can actually just use your smaller burners and leave it on for about 10 minutes. It should work just fine. My mom has a electric stove, so she does it all the time. Alright, so I'm going to let this simmer for another 30 seconds. And our chicken is almost done. I'm so excited. The chicken is almost done, you guys. A quick tip to know when your chicken is done is when the meat has actually left the bone towards the end of your leg. Not my leg, your chicken's leg. That means your chicken is done. Our gravy is done as well. As you can see, the little oil rising up on the side. That means the spices are well blended and it's good to go. So the chicken is almost done now. I'm going to be adding into the gravy. Alright, so all of our chicken pieces are in the gravy now. It's been over 10 minutes of our coal. So I actually have one of these foil cups that I'm going to be putting in over there in the center. And then I'm going to be adding in my coal right into this foil cup. And then I'm going to place it in the center. And I'm going to drizzle 1 drop or 2 drops of oil onto the coal and then cover it up. So we're gonna let it stay in that smoke for about a minute. It really depends how much you like it. You can keep it for 30 seconds, you can keep it for a minute or longer. So after a minute, it's time for assembly. Okay, so we transferred the chicken from the main pot to the one I was grilling in. Using the same pot to assemble biryani. I'm gonna be adding in some oil there, which is about a tablespoon of oil. And now I'm going to be adding in rice at the bottom. And my rice here. And I'm going to be putting it at the base of your pan. I did not rinse this pan because we want all the flavors. So don't rinse it because I need it that hot. Making about 1.5 inches thick base of rice. I'm going to be adding the chicken to the pan. There's gravy on it, so it's fine. Lots of masalas. I'm gonna layer the top with the remaining rice. I'm going to sprinkle some fried onion on top. Okay, and then I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of red food color. This is pretty essential if you're making biryani. Okay, so I'm gonna place a little bit of foil. This is extra, you guys. You don't have to do it, but if you have an additional piece of coal, you can actually use that and give it a bit of smoke again. So you'll have the same smoke in the rice as well. And then I'm gonna cover it. Alright, so I'm gonna let this smoke for about 1 minute, and then I'm gonna take it out and then let the entire biryani steam for another 15 minutes. So once the steam builds up, we're gonna turn it off and then we're gonna serve it. Alright, so the biryani is all ready now. It's been about 15-20 minutes. It's fully steamed and ready to be served. So I'm gonna just serve it and we are going to taste test. I always say please mix your biryani rice, especially with a spatula, because rice actually doesn't break. See the gorgeous colors. A few pieces. Okay, time for big reveal. I'm gonna do a taste test and let you know what it tastes like. So I'm gonna dig right in because I'm super hungry. I'm gonna take a piece of chicken and some rice, and I'll let you know all the spices and everything. So here we go. There's so much flavor. It's incredible, you guys. Like, the spices are just right. It's not too spicy. And the smokiness from the coal, it is divine, you guys. You have to try it on this Eid. Please do let me know what you think about it, and comment below, like this channel, and I'm so excited for the next video. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.